Hello, hello, hello. All right. I'm sorry, guys. Life. That's why I can never. I'd have to like figure out all my. Oh, sorry. Figure out all aspects of my life prior to becoming a full time YouTuber because I can't schedule or commit or do anything. Yeah, family and kids and all that. I mean, you can, but you have to be able to cover those things. You know what I mean? And you have to, it has to be able to be like worth your. So you know what I'm saying. I think I got a fever because it's snowing out almost, and my window's open, and the fan's blowing on me, and I'm still just dripping in sweat. I'm convincing myself it's a fever and not my change. For all those who are interested, hi everybody, Dreamcatcher BC. If y'all still in here, all right. How's everybody doing? Last couple of days have been probably a roller coaster for everybody. Which the next, hi Julian, which the next couple of weeks will be. However, as you notice, the Beyonce's tipping. Notice how them Biden supporters aren't talking as much shit anymore. Bridget, what's up, people? Yeah, they're not talking a lot of shit right now. My lady Lopez. All right. So I thought this would be a perfect way to start the day. Since not this thing, but I got to put this thing up first. I got to keep putting this thing up over and over and over again. And if I ever want my Google ads to actually not be yellow and be green, so John Voight, guys, if you don't know who John Voight is, he is Angelina Jolie's absentee father. Not absentee, estranged. I think they actually did begin a relationship after. 1 second. This is what I forgot to do. Acting like I can just show y'all stuff now. Hold on. I gotta do this first. Okay. And then I gotta do this. Here we go. John Voight. Share the audio. Let's do it. Hey, guys.
My fellow Americans, I stand here with all that feel as I do, disgusted with this lie that Biden has been chosen, as if we all don't know the truth. And when one tries to deceive, we know that one can't get away with it. There will be a price to pay. The ones who are jumping for joy now are jumping toward the horror they will be in for, because I know that the promises being made from the left to the American people will never come to be. My friends of all colors, races, and religions, this is now our greatest fight since the Civil War. The battle of righteousness versus Satan. Yes, Satan. Because these leftists are evil, corrupt, and they want to tear down this nation. We must not allow this. We must fight this corruption that has taken over and fight for the good that seems lost. Let us give our trust to God and fight now for Trump's victory, because we all know this ballot count is corruption like they are. So let us not back down. Let us fight this fight as if it is our last fight on earth. As Muhammad Ali said, it's not over till the last punch you have. God bless.
I thought that'd be a good way to start the show. They got a liquor called KRAKEN, huh? I'm gonna have to get some of that. We'll be releasing it about the same time Sydney Powell comes out, right? All right, guys. I thought that would be a nice way to start the show. A little inspiration to everybody. Shut up! Fur babies always interrupting the live. They always do. There we go. Okay. Always interrupting my life. Oh, I get a cat. Anyway, the cat got cold and I had to close the window, so I'm back to sweating to death. I hope everyone's great. Ray Donovan's day. Yeah, John Voight. Yes, I do agree with that, Don. I do agree with that. Matter of fact, that's how much I agree with this because it's absolutely true. Let's move along. All right, guys. So this has been a 6-part series that had I been going live the last few days, I had actually had it in the evenings go over stuff, but it doesn't matter because you can go back and see the entire 6-part series on Gateway Pundit yourself if you're interested. I'm sure you are. If you haven't seen them on someone else's show. We reported multiple. Now, guys, this is important because they caught the same pattern in the last 5 investigations throughout the last 5 states they've done. So this is part 6. Michigan and Georgia, just like PA and Virginia, caught in the very same pattern. Once Biden gained the lead with massive vote dumps, the remainder of the votes all possessed same Biden to Trump ratio. It's impossible. It's impossible statistically to happen. And it's impossible for it to happen randomly is what impossible means. I want everybody to understand that. When they say it's impossible, we're not saying it's impossible like this could never. No, this is impossible to happen. It cannot happen randomly, okay? So let me go back and show you guys. I just wanted to read that because that's really just the newest update on Gateway Pundit. So I'm going to move on because this is more important. Okay, let's share this with you guys. How to Craig, hi buddy. I did show a copyright and there's finest, my dear. I tried to get a hold of John about the other night. I was so sick. I'm hoping someone told him what was going on. Plus, I was blocked on my own channel, so I wasn't sure if they'd let me go on his. It was just a bad. There we go. Okay, guys. We're going to go over a couple of things. And you're probably saying to me, Kate, why do you have an article from November of 2016 up? Well, because I think it's really important that everyone sees where we were an election ago, excuse my jumping forward, where we were an election ago, okay? And one election ago, at this point, I had been a Trump voter, but that entire election, I was a hardcore Bernie Sanders rocker. I fought in Philly during the actual nomination process. I convinced every person I knew that, who was going to vote for Bernie and why. And, I just had a lot of, no, it's okay, Clay, keep dropping them, y'all, keep dropping them. Cause I almost didn't, I actually almost forgot to show the screen. So, so let's talk about where things were 4 years ago and riddle me this, Batman. Does any of this sound a little familiar to you? Okay, here we go. Election fraud and voter fraud allegations have been a big concern this election season. Donald Trump keeps bringing up his worries that the election is going to be rigged, and some take his concerns seriously, while others think the worries are blown far out of proportion. The concerns range from election fraud to voter suppression. The concerns aren't new. Election Justice USA issued a report in July that voting issues may have cost Bernie Sanders. Hang on one second. I want to do it this way. There we go. Okay. We go back now. There we go. Have cost Bernie Sanders up to 184 delegates, you guys. I was a Bernie Sanders supporter. And let me tell you, I counted every one of them delegates that he let slip between his fingers, as we had people like the sane progressive literally drew up a voting fraud lawsuit and showed it to Mr. Sanders, showed him all of the places where the election had been, the primary itself had been cheated, and how the software had flipped votes and exactly where it had happened, just like we're doing now. And I felt so disgusted when I watched Bernie Sanders close up the report and hand it back to the sane progressive. Sorry, something was on my hat. And walked away. Said nothing, admitted to nothing. He knew. He knew all along. And that's when she knew, and she informed anyone that she could, which was amazing of her, that Bernie Sanders was just there to bring young, vibrant liberals, people who have a dream of freedom and equality, to bring them into the Democratic Party. Be their lead sheep so they can all follow you in. That's what Bernie Sanders is. Later emails released by WikiLeaks show the DNC bias was in favor of Hillary Clinton. Once official handing over debate questions to her campaign had one official handing, Donna Brazil. So it keeps going on, talking about hanging chads and all that. We know that was in the Florida election of 2000, So it talks about voter irregularity concerns aren't new. Even Barack Obama worried about it in 2008.
I would just like
Stick
to
it up
know
there,
what
John.
you can say to reassure us that this election will not be stolen.
There is no serious person out there who would suggest somehow that you could even rig America's elections.
Remember this,
I come
guys.
from Chicago. So I want to be honest. It's not as if it's just Republicans who have monkeyed around with elections in the past. Sometimes Democrats have too. Whenever people are in power, they have this tendency to try to tilt things in their direction.
There's no evidence that has happened in the past. Instances of significant voter fraud are not to be found.
That's
why we've got to have.
He doesn't mention that's because the software that they have designed, which I'm going to show you tonight, it's designed to literally eliminate it so that there's no hard copy shown. That nobody can go back and backtrack and see that original ballot and whether it was flipped or not. We're going to talk about that in just a minute.
Voting rights division in the Justice Department that is nonpartisan. That's why we need paper trails on these new electronic machines so that you actually have something that you can hang on to after you've punched that letter. Make sure that it hasn't been hacked into. Well, I tell you what, it helps in Ohio that we got Democrats in charge of the machines.
Oh, yeah.
I'd advise Mr. Trump to stop whining.
Okay, so Hillary Clinton's campaign was worried Obama's campaign had contributed to it in the 2008 primaries. In an email released by WikiLeaks, John Podesta, her campaign manager, wrote in 2015, they are reliving the 2008 caucuses where they believe Obama forces flooded the caucuses with ineligible voters, which they did. They want to organize lawyers for caucus protection, election protection, and to raise hard money. They are not just Colorado focused. They have good contacts in the region. With this in mind, it's helpful to keep an eye on reported irregularities and research possible causes. It says to skip to the end of the article for detailed explanation about voter machine concerns. Okay, I want you to start paying attention. This is where things start to look a little familiar. The Arizona election was considered fraudulent, had fraudulent and voter suppression things. Keep going. Now, California, we may not have heard a lot about California in this election. Why? Because this was the Democratic primary. California and New York were hotbeds during the Democratic primary. So it's kind of like California wouldn't be one that we would be so concerned would be screwing over Trump. But it will definitely be found in every single election is to have the same repeated errors, I guarantee you. Jeff Weaver, this is it says we'll suppress voting. I'm not, Jeff Weaver's a derp. Multiple TV networks admitted at 8 p.m. on June 7th, 3 hours before polls closed in California, they planned to report Hillary Clinton had won the Democratic nomination. This was noted in the video. Oh, that's what it was. He's saying right here, even though we know, just like Arizona, this is what happened in Arizona this election, guys. Here you go. This is exactly what happened.
Trouble. I'm about to start here. I'm told by the experts on numbers around here at NBC and elsewhere that come June 7th, the day of the California primary, which your candidate, I totally understand, wants to get to, and maybe have a chance of knocking off Hillary at that event, a big last hurrah. At 8 o'clock that night Eastern time, the networks will be prepared, including this one, to announce that Hillary Clinton has now gotten over the top, that she will have won the nomination in numbers. It's done. What will that do to turnout? If that's 5 o'clock Pacific time, with 3 more hours to vote in California, who will be least likely to vote? Sanders people from 5 to 8 people, or Hillary? I've heard both theories.
Well, I think it will depress turnout on both sides. And wherever there's no contest, I think you get depressed turnout on both sides. But it'll be an inaccurate description of the state of the race, frankly, because all we have.
The networks will be wrong.
Yeah, because all we have from superdelegates is essentially a poll. You aren't allocating delegates based on a poll in California, but you are allocating delegates based on a poll of superdelegates.
Yes. Okay, I don't want to have this conversation. I thought it would be obvious to you that this would be a problem for you guys by saying.
Well, not yet, but I'll tell you, I think it's wrong.
We have it's wrong for the networks to announce who's winning.
No, to make a presumptive nominee announcement when in fact that's not the case. The superdelegates vote at the convention. Let's wait till people vote, including the superdelegates, before we call it over.
Right? Well, they didn't want to do that this time either. They don't like to wait until the voting's done before they call the winner. Sorry about that, guys. They had to kill me this fly. I had the window open, and so apparently a fly got in. They decided they wanted to come in here instead of staying out in the snow. So, holy cow. But you know what? I guess not. It just says it. So, let's see what I got for you here. Before I go share the audio. Too many buttons to click, StreamYard. You need to make this all easier. Okay, so the problem is that I usually, hang on. I usually go through this right before I go live just to kind of get rid of videos that already, look at that, somebody's video already got put private. To make sure that all the videos I have aren't like older ones or ones that maybe have already been, I see more in some other videos today. And I didn't get a chance to do that. So I'm going to come all the way down here because these are the last important ones that I put up. So, yeah, Tim's kind of getting a little weird about who he has show his videos. Hold on. Well, I just got done watching. Where is the Rudy one I just put on here? I know it's on here because I just got, is this the newest one? That's Rubin Report. All right, I'll go to my history. Hold on, guys. There it is. This is where I want you to start because then we're going to.
We were doing it. But I was absolutely shocked to learn that many.
Here you go, guys.
Hello, this is Rudy Giuliani.
Before I start this video, I gotta do one thing on the screen because I don't want. I know John's doing it in the chat, but bear with me, okay? Because for now, is it snow? It's yeah, in certain part. I'm upstate, so we get some flurries the last couple, like the last 2 or 3 nights. It's really just freezing rain. It's all it really is. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now I can go put your video up here. We'll watch a little Rudy for a minute. You guys watch his newest one tonight or not?
Rudy's
important stuff
sense.
in it. We're going to be talking
Today,
about
we're going to focus on.
You might wonder why Juan Guaido is in my thumbnail tonight, and this would explain why.
For me, one of the biggest surprises that I've had in this case in which I am representing the Trump campaign.
Oops.
And there have been many surprises. But I was absolutely shocked that many, if not all, of our ballots are calculated for the United States of America. In the state of Michigan, for example, the state of Arizona, the state of Georgia, the calculations are handled by a company called Dominion. They have the machines. They have a reputation of being, I guess the best way to say it is the state of Texas turned them down because they were not considered competent enough to handle elections in Texas. And when I tell you their real history, I think you'll be quite shocked that we use them at all for elections. But in any event, Dominion doesn't really count the votes.
What the heck? Why is it doing this? Oh, it's freezing me out. I put a copyright thing up. Oh, hang on, guys.
Dominion has a contract with a company called Smartmatic.
Got it. Hopefully that
And
caught it.
Smartmatic has locations in Frankfurt, Germany, and in Barcelona, Spain. So when the votes are being calculated, they are sent to most of them in this particular election, Frankfurt, I believe, but there may have been some sent to Barcelona, Spain. Those votes are also in machines, devices that are extremely vulnerable to hacking and extremely vulnerable to manipulation. Now, let me tell you the history of Smartmatic, because when you hear it, you're not going to believe it, and you're going to have to go check what I say by Googling it if they haven't removed all
Oh, I'm
this
so
already.
used to John.
Smartmatic is a company whose origins go back to somewhere around
Sorry, Clay. I am very sorry. It's the Sudafed, I promise you. That and the extremely long 420 session.
2004, 2005.
I'll probably call my wife the wrong name tonight too and get in trouble. No, I never do that.
It was founded by two Venezuelans. And two Venezuelans that were very close to the dictator in
Clay
Venezuela,
always
Chavez.
that's the thing.
And it was founded for the specific purpose of being able to fix elections. That's right. The company that is calculating many of our votes in 27 states. The company that's using the software to count those votes was founded for the specific purpose of fixing elections. If you want to check that out, go online and look at the Sequoia case in Chicago. We'll explain it in a little while. And look at the testimony and the letter from Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, who happens to be my representative in Congress, where I live in New York. And her concerns about Smartmatic going back to 2007, 2008 as a Venezuelan company that had a very, very terrible reputation for fixing elections. Well, they were founded for the specific purpose of making sure that Chavez was elected and reelected. And also then used in Argentina at least once or twice in order to make sure the election was fixed in the way that Chavez wanted it fixed.
This is why I was waiting.
The
Stop hacking.
place in which this all was exposed was during the 2007 election in Chicago, in which Sequoia, a company named Sequoia, was counting the ballots.
But funny as I am, guys, this is really important because he is explaining, as boring as this face is, he is explaining something that we all need to be able to tell our neighbors and our fellow leftists who are going to be trying to defend this whole situation. And facts are the facts. For some reason, American legislatures, local legislatures, city, county, state, whatever, have been purchasing voting machines and vote counting software and systems that are in foreign countries. Why in God's name would we, a superpower, allow our vote to be tallied in a foreign country? And this is why I believe that, Louis Gomer was right, guys, about the whole raid on the Cytl, SCYTL servers, because guess where the Smartmatic software that Dominion ships its votes to be tallied? Guess where that's located at? In honor of Alex. No, I'm just kidding. It's in Frankfurt, Germany, as in where the raid was on the Cytl place. Yeah. So I think Louis Gomer, he don't open his mouth about a military raid just based on a tweet. He may have said it was just based on a tweet. I'm pretty sure he had the inside info before he went on national TV and said something completely different.
In Chicago.
there was a tremendous amount of confusion. The result of the election was delayed. And there was a great deal of concern with the voting machines. No one really had focused where these voting machines had come from. But the voting machines came from.
Give them the eyes, Mr. G.
And were embedded with software from Smartmatic. Again, outside the country. And when they did the investigation, they found this whole history of Smartmatic. That Sequoia was really a front for Smartmatic, the way Jim is the front for Smartmatic.
I don't know why it's getting like that. It wasn't
Detroit.
like I watched it. Guys, let me explain one other thing, is that Smartmatic was actually made for President Hugo Chavez of Venezuela. And he wanted it made so that there was a back door in it, so that in real time, the votes could be accessed at any time in real time. And they could tally up the exact amount of votes that would be needed in order to steal the election without making it obvious, breaking it up into small little steals across the main, in our case, the swing states. Okay? So, matter of fact, 1 second. I don't know why, but this Rudy one is skipping really bad tonight. It might be, and I'm sorry about my heater if my heater's too loud, but I got company in there. I can't freeze them out just because I have like total hot sweats. All right, let me go to the bottom here because it's a new one, and it's with no. Okay, so let me just scroll across my things really quick. Sydney. It's not, but it wasn't with her on there. It was her somewhere else. 1 second. Bear with me, guys. Oh, hang on. That's it right there. I think that's it. Okay. So come back here. I'm going to go watch the rest of that. I don't know why. Maybe it's because my weather's bad, but Rudy's skipping really bad. So hold on. I'm just going to show you what he's trying to tell you. I have all the information. Why not let me do the talking? How's that? Oh, damn it. What happened? Why is it not coming up? Tell me. There we go. It takes to come up on your screen, hopefully not too long. I never liked the way this setup was. Can I move it over? It's not. It's just strange like that. Come on. Boy, shit's acting funny here at my house tonight, guys. Sorry, I'm not used to having all these problems on these StreamYards. Okay, listen, guys. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought this was the actual one with the video in it because I want you to actually hear about right here. Okay, the company is incredibly cagey about its overseas ownership, Smartmatic. It may still be tied to Venezuela, would be Maduro's Venezuela now. Smartmatic became a subsidiary of SDGO Corp. Lord Mark Melbach Brown is chairman of the board, who came up through British Labour Party ranks, has close ties to GS, the good old GS. If he's involved, I mean, I think we should question it. There's also questions about Peter Neffinger, who's chairman of the board of Smartmatic and is now going to be, I believe, on Joe Biden's transition team. He was admiral who worked as the head of the TSA under Obama. That's the one that's the one that's private on my thing. Remember, I just said there's a video. Powell tweeted Trump has given her the go-ahead to. Yeah, that's messed up, you guys. They cut that. Fox News cut that. Another reason why I am no longer supporting Fox News. Just go to her page and watch it. Hold on. Don't even support Fox News anymore. They're a joke. Okay. Let's see what we can. I'm sure that the thing I'm looking for, I'm sure she's smart enough. Sydney Powell is putting all this up on her page too. She says, I trust drinking out of it. This guy says, cat turd. I trust drinking out of a toilet in Tijuana more than I trust the FBI and DOJ. Yeah. Dr. Dave Janda, must watch. How's that? Clay, throw her up, buddy. Please and thank you.
Well, evidence of voting fraud
Yeah, me
continues
too,
to
BC.
grow,
It wasn't
and
slipping live. It's gotta
insiders
be
in the
my
intel
stuff.
community
That's what I
warn that
thought.
the CIA could be behind efforts to meddle with the election. Here's one America's Pearson Sharp.
Members of America's intelligence community are raising red flags. The 2020 election is being outright stolen
I think
from
it's
the
the weather.
American people. Retired Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney, who was formerly the Assistant Vice Chief of Staff of the U.S. Air Force, says 2 pieces of software called Hammer and Scorecard are being used by Democrats as a superweapon for voter fraud.
Amen.
People must understand that this software was used to overturn the 2020 election. The first time in the United States' history that massive amounts of cyber warfare have been used in our voting system.
McInerney says the software was designed all the way back during President George W. Bush's first term in office.
Hammer is a surveillance software developed by the CIA. The programmer was Dennis Montgomery. He developed this in 2003 to go after radical.
Hey guys, remember who I brought you a video of the other day? Whistleblower. His name was what? Dennis Montgomery, the maker of Hammer.
Islamists. Scorecard is a program that was developed for CIA that manipulates voting booths.
McInerney explained Scorecard was intended to overturn elections in foreign countries to install leaders favorable to the United States. But then, under Obama, it was turned to an even more sinister purpose.
Well, that was done by the Obama administration 2 weeks after Obama came in 2009, February 3rd to be exact. Moved it out of CIA.
Y'all think he just pulled that date out of his ass? Come on now. He knows exactly when Obama took over this and changed it to suit Democrats.
A secret skiff in Fort Washington, Maryland. And then they started listening on U.S. citizens to include chief justices, prominent Americans, politicians, etc. When that happened, Dennis Montgomery, who invented the programs, became a whistleblower.
Under former FBI Director James Comey and former CIA Director John Brennan, both Hammer and Scorecard were redesigned to target American citizens, specifically the left's political opponents like Donald Trump. This software is highly illegal, but with President Obama's blessing, these deep state operatives went to work on not only
their golden cow, their sacred calf, the untouchable one is the reason that all this is happening. He created the weapon that is now being used and will ultimately be the reason that Trump will be president for another 4 years. So when they're down on their knees screaming at the clouds again with their freaking stupid shit, this time why don't you try Obama, because he's the one that fucked you.
Discrediting Donald Trump, but on undermining the 2012 and 2016 elections. The programs were countered in 2016, but now in 2020, they were successful and managed to sabotage the election of President Trump by instead reallocating his votes to Joe Biden. McInerney says it was primarily used in the battleground states and is evident in the massive vote dumps for Biden in the early hours of November 4th, the morning after election.
We should be demanding from the president to expose these numbers publicly. You see news networks like Fox that are ignoring all that mainstream media.
Notice who they said? Everybody knows CNN and MSNBC and ABC and NBC. They're already all sold out. We already know. But they're making sure to let everybody know Fox is no longer friendly. No longer share Fox clips. I have unsubscribed to Fox. I will not share Fox clips. I will not share Fox News articles on my on any of my videos anymore. You're probably likely to see a CNN article on here before you'll ever see a Fox one again.
They flipped on
At least
us.
I know who my
They
enemy.
do not want to
At least
hear.
CNN tells me to my face that they're my enemy.
They won't let people like me on, and they don't want to hear anybody mention it. They discount it completely.
Told you.
But we know it's true because we watched it being prepped. They used it in the primaries.
McInerney believes if not for vote tampering, this would have been an overwhelming
See, that's where they
win.
fucked up. The Republicans were watching for this. Trump's trusted, loyal, close advisors were watching this in the primary. They knew that Bernie should have been, but they didn't know. They didn't know for sure if he played a part, he went along with it, whatever. They knew Tulsi Gabbard should have been getting way more, and she kept getting pushed back down. So they saw something going on because they were using the polls in the primary. They were same thing they used against Trump, and right towards the end of right before we all voted, they were manipulating the polls to make primary voters think certain people didn't even have a chance, when in reality, I'm positive, based on donations, based on showing up at rallies and whatnot, people like Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie Sanders were doing exorbitantly better than Joe Biden. So what they're saying is they saw Republicans sat back and watched them prep these tools to be used during the primary, and were already prepared for this. They're letting them hang themselves.
President Trump, but that this information must be given to the right judges so they can act on it, and quickly. If that doesn't happen, he predicts it could have dire consequences for future elections.
If Republicans lose this election, they will never win another one again.
Nope.
It will really be hammer and sickle. And that flag of Russia and the Soviet Union and communism will be flying in the United States. China and Russia and others will own us.
Pearson Sharp, One American News. Want to see more videos like this? Visit OANN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.
Why is that so far behind? I just showed you 4 minutes. Oh, ouch. It didn't go along with it? Should be still. Of course not. It didn't matter, guys. There was no video with it. It was just all audio anyway. So just so you know, I'm playing audio. Unfortunately, the video that goes with it is unavailable. But I didn't share the screen that said it anyway. So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It doesn't matter. You got to hear the audio at least. Hopefully. Hopefully. All right, let's try this again then. Boy, I'm having one of them nights. Maybe I shouldn't have took the Sudafed. Damn, Kate, you gotta slow down. Here we go. Okay, now you're all caught up with me. Here we go. Ouch. I want to show you guys some things that I think it might be. I might be in the wrong one. I am. Yes, I am. Okay, so it's in 7. Sorry, I had like 2 whole things to show you. Oh, and some of them are deleted there too. What the heck? No, that's crazy. I know they were in there. I did a whole thing on it. Give me a second, guys. There it is. I found it. Tool over here. Clay, throw it up there, buddy. Now there's a video. I thought the other one was going to show up too, but it showed up unavailable on video. I know I've checked out that UGE tube recently, and Rumble. I just got
So
started
what we
my
were
channel.
able to do,
I got to have somebody help me figure out how to sync my YouTube channel to my Rumble channel, and why my BitChute videos are no longer loading to my BitChute, even though nothing's changed. My channel synced to it. I don't know why it's not hooked to it. Like, that's places I could be making big change on my channel just by having those two sites added, having my same videos being seen on those sites too would make a big difference, but I don't know how to connect them. I don't know why. Well, I connected the BitChute, but it just suddenly stopped uploading videos like 2 months ago. Every time I put one up on YouTube before, it would automatically go up. All right, hang on, let me hear these ads.
is to go out to an online auction site and buy two machines. Less than $100 is the cost of entry into your exploitation and vulnerability research. So this is what the machines look like when we booted them up. They're fully assembled. So now what we'll start to do is dissect them and see what we can find out as far as exploitation vectors. So I've only had access to this for a few minutes. I mean, literally a few minutes. And I can already see the threat landscape of this machine. I have a DB9 port here. I see the chip for the operating system is not glued in. Pretty carefully, I can pull that out. Now, what that's going to allow me to do is to leave the machine behind, and I'm going to take this chip and put it inside of my reader-writer and start looking at what's installed on it and what the OS has for exploitation potential. Another thing that's disconcerting to me with this is that this is the smart card, and on the back side of this, I can see that the communications cable is not secured either. And that would allow for someone to put a shim in here. If someone wanted to install a defeat device, they could put it right here and then plug it back in. So the smart card would function as normal, but it would change information as it goes in.
Did you hear that?
All the model.
I mean, listen to that again, because that kind of is what we're saying, what Dominion machines are doing.
Change information as it goes in. Device, they could put it right here and then plug it back in. So the smart card would function as normal, but it would change information as it goes in.
Okay.
All the model numbers are on these chips, which really they should have been removed or redacted or ground down. I mean, I can clearly see that this has 1 gigabyte.
I can't load the videos to it afterwards, Clay, because BitChute I do.
Way too much information on here.
Yeah, I did that, but I don't know why it's not going there anymore.
That you can put together to start formulating your exploitation.
Yeah, I just wanted to load them up afterwards.
So what we have here is
I guess I'll start doing a special D Live and a BitChute and a Rumble.
That we did. In this particular machine, there's 3 different
myself
cards.
going,
One
I
is a
guess.
supervisor card. The other is the actual voter card when someone goes in to vote, and then there's a
people
third
be
card
interested
as
in
well.
that?
So what would happen is that the person inserts the card, and we're going to see that it's not reading our card because we've yet to load it with the code. But the fact that it is detecting it is kind of interesting. We're going to look at some system logs. First of all, what strikes me as being interesting is that this is saying it's using OpenSSL. It gives the version number, which is bad because if there are any exploits into that, then we know exactly what version is. We can see that there was an administrator card that was inserted, and then it had the original date and time. And then we'll see down here where the date and time was set with the administrator card. Now, what's disturbing about that is that if this machine was to be booted up before the election day, someone could insert an administrator card and then pre-populate some votes. We see down here, this machine's actually done 1,434 votes from what we can tell. So with this, it's just kind of disturbing that someone could change the date to either close the precinct a few hours early or maybe pre-populate with some votes. We don't know quite what precinct this came from because it just says Stark County. So we're just going to see if we can find any other information in here. So what we see here now is 122 Myers Lake A, maybe Avenue. And that M Lake _can, don't know, maybe Canton, Ohio. And it says Party Democrat. So it says that there was a card created, and I guess maybe they are tracking the card is for a Democrat or maybe some other party affiliation. So just having the precinct information, now I know what machines are being used in the precinct. So, like I said, we have two different style voting machines,
I'll do that.
but we know for a fact that that precinct possibly uses this style. So if I'm going to exploit that precinct, I'm going to do it with this style machine. So that's some pretty good information. So if we look through here, whoa, what is this? What is this?
You hear that? He's
Yeah,
like,
this
whoa.
isn't good here. So apparently
Whoa.
something, let's see, something through this error. And with errors, you get a lot of information that could help. All right, so this machine error log was written on March 2013. However, this error was thrown in 6/11/2012. So to me, I would be looking at when the election happened. Did this error come before the election, during the election day, or after the election? But looking through here, there's a lot of information that we can gather. We see things like winstock.dll, so we know there's some communications that can happen here. Toolhelp.dll, all of these are DLLs that are associated with Windows components, but what that will allow us to do, things like with TaskMon and stuff like that, is to see, are there any exploits into these sub-processes? If so, it may lead to exploitation inside the machine. We also see that it's probably...
I know this sounds like a lot of gibberish to some people. It's very important to understand that what he's saying is he's a nerd guy, okay? But what he's saying is that before even getting into the machine, he showed there's 100 different ways that where the machine wasn't safe. Now he's getting in and showing you what someone could do once they've got access to that machine to make it even more unsafe. Whether it be add votes, change times, change, whatever.
Programs is ballot station.exe. We see a lot of those in there. So all these error logs are very good clues to what's going on. And the one thing that we found that was interesting was a little bit of clear text in here is TAHOMA. So not sure what that is. Maybe we will look and see if there's a candidate with that name or something, because that could let us know what was being displayed on the screen at the time the error was thrown. So you can imagine someone had an exploit with this. Every time someone tried to vote for that candidate, it throws an error and says, vote tabulated or stuff like that. So all these things are telltale signs into what's happening with the machine. And with this error message, I'm going to research further and see if I can deduce what actually happened when this error message was thrown. So what we have here is the what they call the security status, right? And so here is the key hash where you see that they're using 128-bit AES encryption, which is good. But the one thing that's a little bit on the disturbing side is that this key has expired in July of 2013, but the issuer here doesn't appear to be one of the major issuers of certificates. Not saying that that's horrible, but that means whoever issued this ticket, the whole integrity around the communications and the encryption on this device resides on where this private key is. We don't know if it's on somebody's laptop that could be stolen. We don't know if this is inside of a secure air-gapped network, as most of the certificate authorities are, and stuff like that. After looking at this for time, looking at the amount of information that this device has given us, that's not necessary. And also, all this information is being gathered without us doing any kind of exploitation. We showed you a few things that we would start looking at, but the fact is that this machine booted up and presented us. This information is a little bit disturbing. This is yet giving up more stuff. So we see that it says data transfer over SSL and TLS. So we know that there's some IP-based data transfers that can happen. We showed some communications chips on there. We see that there's user-defined security keys and supervisor pins. User-defined. That means that probably these devices, these pins are set once they go out to whatever district it is and stuff like that, because it says it's user-defined. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that is worrisome. And I'm pretty confident that with the amount of information this machine gives up, then we could develop a exploit into this, given how wide the vectors are and the landscape. So the first thing I would do is have a plan pre-formulated. And since the election data is housed on a glorified thumb drive, type thing, I would look at manipulating it that way. So it would be a simple, I walk up, I have my key for this, I pop something out, I put something in. That would be the vector.
You see?
So the one thing
that's it. Everything he just told you doesn't matter. All the way up until this last second. Everything he told you basically just said, I have a million different ways to create a system to exploit this machine. So he took everything he learned about all the different ways that this machine is exploitable. He went back to his little room and he made a key that has all of the data on it needed to go into that machine, take control of it, and exploit it whatever way he wants, by changing votes, putting votes on, taking votes off, whatever it is. Now listen, this is literally all he has to do. Most important part of the fucking video. Hang on, 2 seconds, sorry.
Online. So hopefully this precinct has updated their machines. However, this same machine is probably one that's, type thing. And since the election data is housed on a glorified thumb drive, type thing, I would look at manipulating it that way. So it would be a simple, I walk up, I have my key for this, I pop something out, I put something in. That would be the vector. So the one thing that I am happy about is that this machine was for sale online. So hopefully this precinct has updated their machines. However, this same machine is probably one that's being used in one of 9,000 other precincts around the US.
All day, every day. Okay, so hang on. Let me just do this really quick. We're gonna watch 2 in a row here, guys. Clay, throw that up again just in case. Precinct I voted at does not have. Okay, well, see, mine did, but they would only had like say 3 machines in the whole place. So they had us sit at tables and fill out our votes, and then we get in line 6 feet apart and feed them into the one machine right in front of the lady. So me as a voter, I couldn't have hacked the machine, but that doesn't mean that the people who work for the election boards, after you saw my video of those sweet, sweet Karens, do I think they wouldn't hack? Hell no, I wouldn't put that past them at all. Okay, guys, we all love Jorge Ramos. You're right. Sorry, guys.
They called it backwards. It was simply backwards.
The South Jersey voting machine incident makes waves.
It was 2011, and Cynthia Zirkle and her husband Ernie
now, guys, again,
were running in a local
you want to know
election.
how you find out honest information about the voting machines and the voting software? Go to anything from 2016, because that's when the Democrats had it to lose. And that's when the Democrats were concerned that the Republicans might be able to outvote their manipulation software, meaning more people, just like at this election, more people showed up at the polls than they ever dreamed of, and they couldn't manipulate enough votes in time without making it obvious. So this time they just had trucks full, and they just pretended to stop counting, shut out all Republican polls. This was a 4-year-long plan in action.
In their hometown of Fairton, New Jersey. Was this a big deal here?
It was. It was both a big deal, but people said, we don't trust the system. And that was sad, very sad.
How did you know you would win this election?
Because I knew 33 of the people that voted for us, and we lost 33-10. And I knew that that wasn't the case.
The results had been switched with those of their opponents.
We started calling people that we thought we knew voted for us, because it was just in this district of this township.
That's all we need is a receipt, a way to prove that whatever we gave, whatever we put in that machine when we walked out of there, even if they mailed everybody somewhere, or you leave the precinct with a receipt and then you go and you check your vote online or whatever and make sure that if they did that, do you know how much more trust there would be in this election system? You know, if there was a way to say, hey, wait a minute, my vote that's not how I voted. I've got my receipt right here. And they would actually do the right thing and make it right. But they don't. That's not how it works, because they don't want to make it right. Because in all, they need these things to be there. They need these exploits.
And we know everybody in this district.
Because people voted on electronic voting machines that leave no paper trail, there was no way to recount the votes.
Do you blame the electronic voting machine?
No, I blame people. And unfortunately, I think that no matter what system you come up with can be rigged.
The FBI investigating accusations Vladimir Putin and the Russians were trying to sway the election.
The system, folks, is rigged. It's a rigged, disgusting, dirty system.
The FBI says states should be on guard to protect against computer attacks that could jeopardize the integrity of their elections.
This November, millions of Americans will be voting on electronic voting machines. In 5 states, people will be casting their ballots exclusively on touch screens that leave no paper trail, as well as in individual counties in several other states.
When you have an electronic voting machine with no paper ballot, then you're completely relying on the software in the voting machine to tell you who won. And software is easily replaced in a computer, so somebody can replace it with fraudulent software that lies about who won. Now I'm going to unscrew this sheet metal panel.
That's computer scientist Andrew Appel. He knows what he's talking about because he's actually hacked the voting machines himself.
That's a fancy big old one he's hacking.
A computer expert to actually hack the voting machine. So I remove it simply by prying it loose from its socket with a screwdriver.
Damn.
If it's a really close election, then one swing state will make the difference.
In the battleground state of Pennsylvania, one of the largest counties is using the very same machine that Dr. Appel hacked.
If someone has access to a room full of machines and one computer scientist is able to change a memory chip in 7 minutes, is it possible that a room full of machines could be compromised?
Honestly, I don't know how you could do it in 7 minutes. You could maybe once the panels were off, it may not take that long. In our case, there would be some evidence of tampering that the judge of election would obviously notice that next day.
These machines are put into a school, they're in a warehouse. Is it secure?
Each polling location is supposed to have a secure locked room in which the machine is placed. The machines themselves have a lock on them. And then we have, and I'm not going to explain it, but we do have also an additional tamper evident safeguard.
Election officials point out that Dr. Appel's hacking methods require being able to physically access the machines. So we went to see how hard that would actually be in Mercer County, New Jersey.
This is the warehouse. We have 600 machines in here. We have several cameras throughout. I believe there's 8 cameras throughout the building.
Could someone get in here and switch the memory chips at night without you knowing about it?
No, because the alarm would go off.
Yeah, they're not secure.
The cameras would come on and record them coming in. And by the time they even tried to get into a machine, the police department would be here.
Oh, really?
So you actually programmed to say, this button's for Hillary Clinton, this button's going to be for Trump.
No, that's done by Dominion.
Dominion is the company behind the machines.
Hang on.
We reached out to
Remember, this was 2016, guys. This was before they tried to use all this in their favor.
but they didn't respond to our request for comment.
Would you prefer that this machine had a paper ballot attached to it?
I think it'd be great if voters could walk out with a piece of paper that said your votes were recorded for these candidates. And if we had the funding to make that available to voters, that would be a great thing.
The federal government actually gave states lots of funding, hundreds of millions of dollars, to improve their voting systems after the 2000 Bush-Gore election disaster in Florida. To try and prevent future problems, states moved away from paper ballots to electronic voting machines. But there was one big issue with the new machines.
It didn't have a paper trail. There was no way to verify how they voted.
Inside
Oh,
the
she's
Florida
trouble.
warehouse,
She's a
there are
dirty,
hundreds
dirty,
of
dirty
electronic
kind of
voting
trash.
machines that won't be
Don't
used
listen
by
to
the
nothing
general
she
public in
says.
November.
Do you understand why
She's
voters
trouble.
don't trust these things?
They said that they wanted a paper trail. They wanted to
Look
be
at the
able to
county.
see
That's all I
where
got to
their
say.
votes are.
Look at the county she comes from. And let me just tell you who her best friend is in that county. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This woman's already been accused of voter fraud, and she also is being literally right now in 2016. She was charged with destroying ballots after having a court order handed to her, telling her those ballots couldn't be destroyed for 21 months because that Tim guy, I can't think of his name, the one that went against Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Tim something. He actually took it to court. He was like, I'm done with this. I got cheated the first time and I'm not getting cheated again. So he took it to court. Snipes destroyed the ballots.
How their votes were captured, and you can't see that on here.
So Florida purchased new machines again for the 2008 election, spending millions of dollars to give voters a verifiable paper trail. So these are the optical
These are the
machines.
optical scan machines. When a person votes on these machines, they'll put in the paper ballot. If there's a big discrepancy, we can go into that bin, pull out the paper, check the papers again.
So why are voters in more than a dozen states still voting on paperless machines?
We don't have a national process for voting. Maybe we should.
We should be able to run elections, not worrying about can we trust the results if the computers aren't hacked.
I think she actually is going to do it.
Can we trust the results even if the computers might be hacked?
Maybe not
And
that,
paper
but
trails available through
eventually she's going to get
optical scan
caught.
ballots give us that assurance.
She's got
What's
a
important
dirty,
is
dirty
get
reputation
more and more
for
of the
that.
states into technologies that are
That's how
secure.
I didn't even know her name right away.
Despite concerns, election officials say they're ready for
Her
November.
hair.
We're very confident that we have taken every step possible to make these machines secure. I cannot tell you that any system is 100% secure. Even paper ballots, people make mistakes with the tabulation of them. But I'm comfortable that we've taken every step possible to make this particular machine secure.
As for the circles, they ended up winning their election after a judge ordered a new vote. Still, they have little faith in our electoral process.
When you have candidates that have enormous amounts of money at their disposal, elections can be bought. And they can be bought at the local level in enough places that it will make a difference. And that's my biggest fear.
Can you trust a voting machine that's electronic with no paper trail?
No. And you can't trust the people running that kind of a system.
Amen, guys. Amen. Excuse me. Oh, this is getting bad. All right, let me just go back to this. I think there might have been actually one more. It was a girl hacking them. It was a good one. She did it real. She showed one of the Dominion machines. But hang on. All right, go off. Give me 2 seconds to unload some of this stuff. I think that might be what's slowing me down. 2 seconds here. I'll shut some of these windows down. Yeah, definitely going super slow because I think that's what it is. Too much. Not to mention everybody's home, so everybody's on the Wi-Fi. I'm sure, God forbid, Mom has the Wi-Fi for 2 hours a night. All right, I'm about to just give up on closing it and just come back to you guys. Come on. All right, forget it. Thank you for waiting. I'm coming back now. Maybe I can get my arrow back. Yeah, that was crazy. Okay. So it was down here. I just had the other ones. Oh yeah, there's a couple of things here. That's what it is. Okay, I see them now. The one with the pacemaker, and then this tech podcast. I got a couple of them. And then I got proof of one functioning live too. Malfunctioning voter machine live. Oh heck, all of these. You guys, Hillary Clinton actually paid during VidCon for these, for hackers to practice hacking these voting machines. You don't think that those same hackers could have been hired to be? Come on now. Here's one that's quick.
In what might be a political candidate's worst nightmare, one man in Mississippi recorded a video of an electronic voting machine malfunctioning.
It is not letting me vote for who I want to vote for.
That voter, Ethan Peterson, was trying to select Bill Waller Jr. in the Republican primary runoff election for Mississippi's next governor. But the machine in Lafayette County repeatedly selected Tate Reeves instead.
So there, yeah, see, everybody said
Mississippi
that in 2018, you guys, all these primaries they said was where the Democrats practiced. And they, like the Arizona election that was stolen, the one with Doug Jones there, all of them close elections. And the reason why that idiot broad in Georgia keeps claiming she's the governor is because she thinks that because she cheated and won and didn't get or was supposed to win, excuse me, but got caught and her illegal votes got tossed out, that she can still walk around and claim to be the winner. Oh, the internet hates me. Oh well, they'll get over it.
Secretary of State's office told the Clarion Ledger it sent a technician to work on the malfunctioning machine from the video.
I know, it's
Voters in
like
Calhoun
every time I
County
get on, I
reported
either get
two
YouTube
other
kicking me off
malfunctioning
or the
machines
internet acting
at
up.
two separate precincts. Officials didn't immediately say whether the machines just glitched or whether they were tampered with. But either way, just reports of malfunctioning voting machines add to growing concerns about possible election interference.
Okay, so that was all, mind you, this was all in 2016 when it was all the Democrats whining about all this stuff was going on. Let us not forget. Again, 2016. Look at the date, August 2016.
I think a hacked U.S. election could tip the balance to one candidate or another.
Over the last few months, hacking and politics have become a dangerous combination, with the DNC and Clinton campaign getting hacked. We're here in Las Vegas for Black Hat. It's a conference where the best hackers in the world get together to talk security. Now, while there's no indication that the voting process has ever been hacked, we decided to ask some of the hackers here if it were even possible. You guys were pulled in to help the DNC figure out whether or not they've been hacked.
That's the first thing.
You did.
You guys came in to help the DNC see if they figured out whether they've been hacked. So first of all, they brought these guys in to make them feel important. We need you. We need you to save democracy and see if the DNC's been. And let me tell you, mind you, they already knew that they had been hacked, not hacked, but that the information was stolen by thumb drive, not a hack, which they claimed to have happened because of the speed. It was not possible. The speed that the transaction took place proved that it had to have been a thumb drive. It was too fast for a hack over the internet. Okay. First and foremost, you must know about hacking in order to know what you're talking about. Second of all, they brought these hackers in to make them feel special, and then they said, well, now we need you to let us know if these voting machines are vulnerable.
Figure out that they had in fact been hacked. And also they were point for Russia. What are the implications?
And that was also found out to be not true.
A bit of a watershed event. 40 years ago, we had
George Kurtz. Let's talk about CrowdStrike real quick. CrowdStrike is owned and operated by Sean. I can't think of his last name right now. However, he's ex-FBI, ex-intelligence, and ex-FBI. Okay? And a lifelong Democrat.
Boxes of files that were stolen. Now we're talking about 20,000, 30,000 files that are being dumped on the internet.
Do you worry that there are other state actors sitting in on some very internal, important conversations that pertain to U.S. elections?
That's 100% certainty. That's not even
It's a lie.
doubt
It's
in my
all
mind
a lie.
that there's
All of that
other
was a
actors that are
narrative
out
set
there
up
that
to
have yet to
ruin
be found.
Trump's win.
It's too big of an opportunity for them. It's too easy to get in.
But it goes beyond the campaign being vulnerable. What about the actual machines we use to vote? A security firm called
They haven't had to leave. They haven't left. They left on their own. Well, the wife is still in Florida, and their charges basically were dropped to bank fraud, next to nothing bullshit. The brothers, I know exactly who you're talking about, the Awan brothers, the ones that were hacking into the DCC, the DCCC, and they were basically hacking into all the, it's funny because they were hired to be IT staff to Democratic congressmen and senators, and then they were stealing information from other Democrats, other progressives, and giving them to the mainline Democrats so they could basically get a jump on them. That's how evil these Democrats, they steal from their own party.
A couple of electronic voting machines on eBay. See how secure they really are. Now, you have to remember that there's a ton of different types of voting machines out there, and each U.S. county uses what they feel works, including electronic and optical scanning devices. And about 75% of the country still makes their choice on plain old paper. Now, in this particular case, these hackers say they found some major issues. Here's their perspective.
So what we're seeing is what a voter would be presented with when they go into a precinct. So when you get your voter identification card, which is a smart card, and you would insert it into the machine, and then go ahead and start your voting process. With the smart cards running small little computer systems on there, a device as tiny as this can be used to manipulate the smart card to allow you to vote multiple times.
So the idea behind this is anyone who's able to kind of get their hands on the cards that are going to be used, if they have the technical skills, they could essentially build what you just built, which allowed them to go cast their vote as many times as possible.
And I could probably put about 400 votes in myself
did.
in less than a couple minutes. And
I kind of thought somebody would catch on to that.
Take us through what happens after you submit your vote. What are other ways that this could be vulnerable?
These devices have communicated with some sort of database system. We don't know what transport network looks like between this machine and the actual database server. So anywhere along that path, if a hacker was to have something installed, then the communication should be intercepted.
Given all this research, what would you say is safe from electronic voting?
Him and his brother did it. One day I'll do a video on that.
Well, I can tell you this year I will be voting via paper with a ballot.
As someone who is kind of
Seymour Hirsch told the story.
always seems like
Secret
the
audio.
worst can happen. What keeps you up at night?
A compromised election.
This Kanika thing's
Now, Barnes says he doesn't believe we're that close to a compromised election yet, but he does want to raise awareness of these types of vulnerabilities. What I did hear from these guys is that even if one voting machine is perceived as compromised, that has broad implications into how the American public will view the political process.
Okay, so they did end up. Hang on. Go back. They did end up hacking them. There was a convention they hacked. Apparently you can hack with a pacemaker. Let's see that real quick. How many people in this country you think got pacemakers? These are all outside things.
T-minus 90
that doesn't
days.
mean this is. I mean, the first one I showed you. Yeah, they could have sent actors in all over the place and changed the chip or the chip or added that thing that the guy said, and basically had complete control over what votes stayed and what votes went, whatever, without any notice to it at all. But these are a lot of things I'm showing you here are ways personally that people could have messed with this. And this was during the primaries, 2018 primaries, when they were running all these practices.
Until the midterms, and as we get closer, how concerned should we be about election hacking? Josh Lipton, live in Las Vegas with more on that story. Josh.
Seema, as midterm elections approach here, election security is front and center here at Black Hat. Election security expert Karsten Sherman walks us through just how vulnerable our voting machines could be.
So, Karsten, walk me through how we're going to hack a Windows machine.
The first thing we're going to do is we connect wirelessly to this machine. And so when we press join, now we're connected to the machine. That's it. That's it. What we don't focus is do not use wireless access points on voting machines. Just don't do it. And if you don't,
Because you don't understand what he's saying. He's saying they use the Wi-Fi because they use like a public Wi-Fi, in the place where they were voting. He's standing there and he accessed that same public Wi-Fi, and by doing that, he gained access to the voting machine.
Voting machine, we can just look and list the directory, and here you see there's a directory called WinVote, and so we can also go into the directory WinVote. Just going to press demo, and then I'll have a control.
And now you've successfully broken it.
I'm successfully broken it.
And you could actually, at this point, you would actually have access to the voter database.
Yes.
Which means you would be able, in theory, to change the votes.
That's correct.
Now, the WinVote machines.
Okay, now I'm not going to listen to all the extra bullshit afterwards, but the bottom line is yes, as much as they want to say that they're making changes, they did. Oh, here's the pacemaker part. Hang on. Let's do the pacemaker part real quick.
Yeah, this is wild, Bill. So I did just catch up with two security researchers, Billy Rios and Jonathan Butts, and they showed me how they were able to actually hack their way right into a Medtronic programmer. That's the device, remember, that controls pacemakers. So they were able to hack into a programmer in really just a couple minutes. That's actually all it took. Using a laptop, they could, for example, hop on a hospital's network and compromise the programmer. They could do whatever they want. In theory, that means they could actually change patient therapy if they chose to. There's about 33,000 of these specific programmers out there. We did reach out to Medtronic, the company tells CNBC. They have existing controls in place to mitigate the issue. We strongly believe and have found that the therapeutic benefits of our products far outweigh potential security risks. Guys?
Holy cow. Did your patients, do your patients believe that? Did you let your patients know that some 14-year-old kid with zits and no girlfriend is sitting home with his laptop, figured out he can hack into his neighbor's pacemaker and hold it at ransom? Do you want to die? Send him a message. Are you kidding me? Wow, the doctors think that the risks far outweigh, huh? All right. They say so. How's everybody doing? Hanging in there? All right, let's see. We got a little more show for you. A little more. Let's go back, because I know there was, let's get to the Dominion stuff. I don't want to go to articles yet. I'm not in the mood to read yet. My throat's finally starting to calm down. This was the voting machine hacking village I was telling you about during the DEF CON thing. Okay. Go back. It's me. Oh, you hate me so much. I know.
We have voter registration systems. People are free to hack. They are free to open the machines. We can experiment and we can do tests which are risky.
It's working kind of, but it's not 100% working normally.
This was my idea. I called Jeff Moss, the founder of DEF CON, and said, hey, you know what might be fun this year? We should hack voting machines. He called me back and said, all right, let's do it. Our next speaker is Harry University, the foremost election security experts in the world.
The first hack was a officer from Denmark who was able to take control remotely over Wi-Fi.
Have you touched the machine? So here is the station. Okay. It says hello, I'm there. I select our exploit. And we're in. Okay. So these guys are just electronic vote that have already got access to the database. We can add fake voters, subtract voters from the voter record, vote multiple times. They own the database. Thank you.
Does this sound familiar, guys? Does any of this sound familiar? Add fake voters to the database, vote multiple times. What else? What else happened during this election?
Good job.
And he does one of the things that I personally am most concerned about. One of the biggest threats to voting is to just make it so that there's chaos in the precinct on election day. These guys could now do that if they wanted to.
We were working on Diebold, AccuVolt, TSX. We identified most of the
Diebold's are well
chips
known
on the board, and then we dumped the data off of 2 of the memory cards. I think we would eventually
Hold on, honey. I'm sorry. I'll stop talking. I'm terrible for that. Sometimes I got to remember to pause it.
able to manipulate the votes. We would have to either modify the memory card data, which seems to be completely unencrypted, or if we can look at the firmware, we might be able to basically install a virus on there, which would also allow us to modify.
Basically saying they have to look at the software when they open it up, because then they have to see if it's encrypted. They have to look and see if they can put a virus on it. There's all different types of ways that they can change the vote.
Somebody with more experience could probably do this in about a week.
A week.
It's fake. All right. So.
What's that say, guys? Wasn't that what our friend Rudy was just talking about? Sequoia voting systems, how they were involved in that lawsuit where they proved that Dominion software was made purposely with a back door on it so it could change votes. Sequoia.
So yeah. Well, this is just right with that. This is the binary, and
the actual names are in text in there.
It is very accessible. You can get right in, write whatever. If you have access to this card, mind you, it's a card that's inside the machine. But you can get access to that card, and you can make it say whatever you want.
If you get access to the card, you can make it say whatever you want.
Everything we discover is basically still out there, alive and vulnerable.
Okay? I'm not showing you this stuff because it's old and they've done something to change it. Obviously, they just, you know what they did? They just said if we can't beat them, join them type shit.
Let's say you run an authoritarian government and you want to cause chaos in a democratic country. What's an easy target? How about the voting process? Some experts say it may not be so hard to do it in this democracy because many of the states of these United States still use outdated, easy to hack voting machines.
Just so happens to be all the swing
Every single case where a U.S. voting machine has been
analyzed by competent security researchers. They have found vulnerabilities that would let someone inject malicious software and change election data. Every single case.
That's Professor J. Alex Halderman from the University of Michigan. He's one of the world's leading specialists in voting systems. He's helped Congress draft legislation on how to beef up election security, especially after U.S. intelligence agencies found widespread hacking attempts by Russia in 2016.
I know America's voting machines are vulnerable because my colleagues and I have hacked them repeatedly as part of a decade of research studying the technology that operates elections and learning how to make it stronger.
Halderman has shown how U.S. voting systems will be vulnerable in 2020 elections. He says up to 18 states still plan to use voting machines like this one. The AccuVote TSX touchscreen, or other versions like it.
I brought one here with me today, in fact. And we're going to conduct an election. This machine that I brought with me, I bought this one on eBay. It was used until very recently in Ohio.
He says malicious software can be added when basic operating data is entered for each machine.
The way that works is election officials prepare that on a PC somewhere and copy it to the machine using removable memory cards like this. Election officials are going to put it in the machine like this for the election. But what our election officials don't know is that I, the attacker, have already infected that memory card with malicious software. Here are our candidates. George Washington or Benedict Arnold. Okay, so we have one vote here for George Washington. We have 3 votes for George Washington. Oh, a narrow victory for Benedict Arnold. 1 vote for George, 2 votes for Ben, because the malware I inserted on the memory card has stolen the election.
In the United States, every single state.
And that's how it happens, my friends.
Independently controls how it conducts elections, even for federal office. Some outsource the programming of voting machine data cards to private vendors. These firms may have their own issues.
Dominion, Cytel, Smartmatic.
Well, here's a vendor that did the election programming for a large fraction of my state in 2016.
Michigan.
Here are lots of nice high-resolution photographs of their warehouse in case you want to break in. So if I wanted to break into this company, let's say I was the attacker, I'd probably start by forging an email from, let's say, Larry, the president here, to Sue, his administrative assistant, asking her to urgently open an attachment.
That malware could now spread to memory cards via PCs throughout the firm's network. But if the machines aren't actually online when you vote, there's no way to hack them, right?
This is something that you hear all the time in the U.S. from election officials. Unfortunately, it's not actually true. Those election management system workstations sometimes are connected to the internet, or the data that's programmed into them passes through an internet-connected system. So we're just one or two hops away from an online attacker.
A Senate Intelligence Committee report in 2019 concluded that Russian operatives attempted to hack into voting systems in all 50 states in 2016.
I think we need to worry very much in 2020 about not only Russia, but Iran, China, North Korea, and other countries that have sophisticated cybersecurity offensive capabilities.
U.S. Congress was concerned enough to approve $380 million in emergency grants for states to improve their systems in 2018.
But that money came with no security requirements, believe it or not. States
and of course, the Democrats wanted to steal the election.
Haldeman says just a statistical sample audit of scanned paper ballots could identify anomalies in electronic voting. So how many states will do this kind of risk-limiting audit in 2020?
It's probably going to be fewer than half will require any kind of review of the paper record.
The U.S. Senate has yet to take a vote on another bill to provide even more money to states for improving voting systems with the requirement for a paper trail and audit.
Okay, sorry, I stopped looking at my things for 2 minutes and everybody, okay. Give me your microphone so I can see if it gets rid of the bad echo. I think it was my thing was too loud because see, on my dashboard, it tells me that I'm on echo elimination, so that there's not. It's probably just my piece of shit Apple computer, but I had the volume all the way up on YouTube. Try it. Is it better now?
Audits. Some senators argue that the federal government shouldn't tell individual states how to run their elections. But this isn't just about the United States.
Give me 1 second, John. I'll look it up. Hi, baby. What are you doing? I go out with your sister? Hold on.
Alderman says that all democratic elections are vulnerable in some way.
This is a pattern that's being repeated again and again in political conflicts across the world. It's only going to get worse.
You hit a button, fill out a circle. Where do they go? Well, listen to this guy, because this is very, very weird. How when you vote using a Dominion system, where they go, check this out.
The end game of the discussion needs to be that there are so many unexplainable, very, or at least at this point unexplainable, troubling questions that real authority needs to look into it and take it very seriously. The people at the top of the pyramid appear to be companies like SGO, Smartmatic, and Seidel. Seidel actually means a series of databases that all sorts of voting.
I'm telling you, I think it might be my weather, guys. The weather's getting worse here. Is my voice echoed too? It's just the video. All right, I'll try something. Let me see here. Do it this way. Maybe I didn't click the echo thing on this. All right, now I'll go back. Oh, don't do it, Dan. Don't yell at me, Dan. That's Dan's mad face. I'm just reading something, guys. Hold on. I'm going through these and seeing what other ones. Fraud week. There. Yeah, that's the louder with Crowder one, right? Yeah. Sorry, I just want to make sure I play a couple of certain ones before I get off here. That's all. Stop grabbing shit. Damn it. This is something I want you guys to see very quickly. This is what's going. You all didn't know. Last night it went in our favor for a minute, and they said they weren't gonna call the or not call, but whatever you call it when they actually verify the election in Michigan.
We're hitting Michigan tomorrow, but
listen.
A board of canvassers in Michigan, this happened last night, refused to certify. They were deadlocked 2-2 to certify the vote for Joe Biden in Wayne County. And then they reversed it. So this is considered a big win. They reversed it. People say, well, why did they reverse it? So this happened last night. I'll tell you what, we don't know exactly why they reversed it so quick.
The only reason I'm putting it off is because everything else I already have loaded up, and the way my stuff's working so slowly right now, and now there's this weird echo. Everybody I can't even close down the tabs that I have at the top. Y'all know my keyboard. I had to talk into it because I can't type into it right now. The bottom row don't work, so I couldn't. I'm dreading the whole talking into my keyboard thing, and it just spinning.
And it almost seemed fearfully.
Yeah, I will in a minute. I know
I have a
exactly
guess.
what executive order you're
Monica
talking
Palmer
about.
and William Hartman will forever be known in southeastern Michigan as two racists who did something so unprecedented that they disenfranchised hundreds of thousands of black voters in the city of Detroit because they were ordered to. Probably, I know, Monica, you think Q told you to do it or some other crazy stuff like that. But just know when you try to sleep tonight, that millions of people around the world now on Twitter know the name Monica Palmer and William Hartman as two people completely racist and without an understanding of what integrity means.
I may end up not using StreamYard tomorrow, guys. I may just, because this is frustrating as hell. Because I don't usually have any of this trouble when I'm doing it the other way. As long as you guys are fine with me doing it the other way, I don't mind doing it the other way. I just did it this way so I didn't have the phone, like the ghetto look.
Or a shred of human decency.
And what that tells us is you, Miss Monica Palmer from Grosse Pointe Woods, which has a history of racism, are deciding to enable and continue to perpetuate the racist history of this country.
Now, I am not trying to encourage violence against the Nazi who lives on 184 Oak Lawn, apartment number 2.
Not sure. The bottom, I have an Apple Mac, or app. What is it? Mac. The all-in-ones, not the MacBooks, like the all-in-ones. iOS. There you go. That Mac iOS, and I have the keyboard that's still connected to it. With the USB in the back. Well, I don't know what happened. Nothing got spilled on it. Nothing happened. One day I just went to sit down and type, and the whole bottom 2 rows from shift across to shift and control all the way across to control don't work. And except for the command button. If it wasn't for that command button, I wouldn't be able to even use the option to talk into my search bar. I have to click that every time, and it doesn't just do it. It takes 20 times of doing it before it actually works. So the keyboard, I wanted to get a wireless one because they're just as good. I can just move it around a little bit more. But they're on back order, so I've been waiting.
In Grosse Pointe Woods.
So basically, just so you guys know, they doxed and called them racist and basically told people their first and last names and where they lived and all that, and they were getting threats. They basically told them, you're the most racist. You're the reason that racism is going to come back to this area, blah, blah, blah. And they were doxed into reversing their decision. Yes. And it was an important decision, and it was important that we won that one. Sorry, I'm just looking for the other one. I thought you guys would like this one. I did anyway.
Thank you for choosing the Next News Network. After this report, I want you to head on over to nextnewsnetwork.com for a special message. The link is in the description below. Now, let's get to the news.
Boom. Hillary blindsided when Trump supporters show up at her house after learning this troubling news. This is the Next News Network. My name's Elijah. Please check that you are sub by clicking below and turning on the bell. Cassandra Fairbanks from the Gateway
I've checked all that.
supporters
It's
of
been a
President
while.
Donald Trump are rallied outside Hillary Clinton's New York home, chanting, "Lock her up," following reports that she is being considered by Joe Biden for a role in the administration. Over the weekend, it was reported that Biden is considering Hillary Clinton for his administration's ambassador to the United Nations. Should they be able to pull off the steal and win the election, then I guess that's a possibility. On Sunday, Trump supporters rallied at her Chappaqua, I don't know how to say that, residence chanting, "Lock her up" and USA. Take a look at these clips and see for yourself.
Jack Squad, New York, y'all. Look at him.
Hiding right behind that little wall, and she doesn't want anybody else to know.
That's great. Damn, they're fucking parked deep too. Look at them, guys. These are all the ones that showed up to go. Look at them all to Hillary's and shout, "Lock her up." And
Losers!
Oh yes,
Landslide!
Oh please, it was not a landslide. Losers. Let me find out. That's one of them. He's got a radar thing, so it didn't look like it was a
Chelsea
cop.
Clinton whined about the protests on social media, citing COVID, though she has been supportive of Black Lives Matter and Antifa protesters disturbing other people's neighborhoods. There are Trump supporters outside my parents' house shouting through their megaphones, "Lock her up." And I just keep thinking, I hope they're wearing masks and someday get over 2016.
Your mom should get over 2016.
And I'm not about protests at people's private residences. I think this is wrong. That's my opinion. I don't think we should be showing up at people's houses. I wish Trump supporters would be smarter than this. I don't believe that we should emulate the same tactics we've seen, though I do know that in the cases of war, we should always be prepared. But for right now, yelling in a megaphone at somebody's house, well, I'm not in for that. Anyway, have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm sorry.
Thank you for watching.
It was good enough for me. All right.
We're hitting Michigan tomorrow, but
my Wi-Fi, like I'm in the yellow, guys, so don't be surprised if we get some cuttage here. So who's watched Joy Bear? You know her name, the goofy one. Joy Behar, that's her name. Couldn't think of her name. She was talking shit today. I think it was today or yesterday.
Speaking of a girl who was bought and paid for, there's been a calling now from Michigan State Rep to impeach Governor Whitmer because don't say yes.
Hold on, I'll do it again. But I just tried to hit it when I was in StreamYards. Hold on. Yeah, it won't let me. I can't. I'm in StreamYards, John. It won't let me. I can do it if I was on my phone, but it won't let me click it in the StreamYard comments. I'd have to pull up. I know what I gotta do. Come on. Mute, dude. Ah. See, it's YouTube that I'm waiting on. It's not, it's the Wi-Fi that I use. Still. Okay. Now that I got that done, down here. No, I saw the link. I just had, I couldn't, you can't click links in StreamYard, baby. I had to come here to do it. And then I've got to go back here, and I've got to go to stop screen, and screen share. It's not there. What is it? It's the executive order one. Where is it? Right there. All right. This is what John wanted shared. I read. I know. Sorry. I know he was talking about what. In 2018, President Trump did this executive order. Okay, and it says, by the power vested in me as president by the Constitution and laws of the USA, including International Emergency Economic Powers Act, the blah 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 blah. Let's get down to the important part. Donald Trump. I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, find that the ability of persons located in whole or in substantial part outside the U.S. to interfere in or undermine public confidence in U.S. elections, including through unauthorized accessing of election and campaign infrastructure like, I don't know, Dominion software, Cyto, Smartmatic, or the covert distribution of propaganda or disinformation like we were getting from China and Iran, constitutes an unusual and extraordinary threat to national security and foreign policy of the U.S. Although there's been no evidence of a foreign power altering the outcome or vote tabulation in any U.S. election, foreign powers have historically sought to exploit America's free and open political systems. I need a drink. In recent years, the proliferation of digital devices and internet-based communications has created, I think I've proven that tonight, a significant vulnerabilities and magnified the scope and intensity of the threat of foreign interference, as illustrated in 2017 community assessment. I hereby declare a national emergency to deal with this threat. Ooh. Did they not see this? Were the Democrats too busy to be paying attention to what Trump was making executive orders about, or did they see it and just say, fuck it, we'll get him somehow and he won't catch us? Really? You all don't know Trump, do you? Trump, excuse me. Trump don't lose. Trump plays to win, period. He don't play if he doesn't already know that he's going to win in all 5 outcomes. And if he's only set up, if Ratio's only got him set up to win 2 out of 3, he'll pay the other person off to win that 3rd. Accordingly, I hereby order that not 45 days after the conclusion of the United States election, which I believe, wait a minute. The director, I see where you're going with this, John. I see where John's going with this. Oh, you emailed me, honey? I didn't know. I'm sorry. I told you it's the Sudafed. I'm not there tonight, guys. None of you. I called Clay John. I might as well have just called my wife by the wrong name, for Christ's sakes. I never do that. Anyway, so now I see where John's going with this. So not later than 45 days after the conclusion of a U.S. election, the Director of National Intelligence, who is who, guys? Who's our Director of National Intelligence now? Here, I think I'm going to remind you, just for shits and giggles. We'll come right back to that, I promise. Let me just look it up really. What's his name again? I can picture his face. He's the one that's been fighting for Trump this whole time, too. Give me a minute. No, they didn't care at all. Come on. Give me that ding ding. Director of National Intelligence, 2020. Oh, I said it too fast. No. Trump's Director of National Intelligence. Come on, Big Daddy, give it to me. It's like started typing it and then stopped. Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind. What is his name, guys? Put it in the. 1 second. I'm trying one more time. Trump's DNI. There. I don't want to type anything in. You see? You see now? Jesus. That needs a cigarette. It's coming. It's still loading. Yeah, you guys, the internet's getting worse and worse, meaning the storm's getting worse and worse. We had like 55-mile-an-hour wind the night before. I know that. Come on. Are you kidding me? Jesus. Thank you. John Ratcliffe, for Christ's sakes. Exactly. But I wanted to get this John Ratcliffe. Thank you. I wanted to get this guy's name because you're right. Trump is there's already an order. It already has happened is what I'm getting to. You're right. But I wanted to get his name so I could finish saying what I'm saying because the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, in consultation with the heads of any appropriate departments and agencies, maybe, I don't know, the military who just had to raid some servers in Germany, shall conduct an assessment of any information indicating that a foreign government or any person acting as an agent or behalf of a foreign government has acted with the intent or purpose of interfering in that election. The assessment shall identify to the maximum extent ascertainable the nature of any foreign interference and any methods employed to execute it. The persons involved, the foreign governments, or the governments that authorized, directed, sponsored, supported it, or sponsored support. The DNI shall deliver this assessment and appropriate supporting information to the President, Secretary of State, Secretary of Treasury, and Secretary of Defense, Attorney General, and Homeland Security. Within 45 days of receiving the assessment, this information described in this order, the Attorney General and Secretary of Homeland Security, in consultation with heads of appropriate agencies, shall deliver to the President, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Treasury, and the Secretary of Defense a report evaluating with respect to the U.S. election that is the subject of the assessment described in Section 1. The extent of which any foreign interference that target election infrastructure materially affected the security or integrity of it. Tabulation of vote. So listen, it's already being protected. It's already being invested. Everything. That's why they snatched the servers. That's why Trump was out playing golf that day. Why? The day they called Joe Biden for president, the day that Rudy Giuliani came out and started announcing the lawsuits, where was Trump? On the golf course. Because he already knew. This was already, I kept saying before I knew about this, that they knew. Between whistleblowers, I know sources who gave up so much information to Millennial Millie. I mean, she has terabytes that she turned over to the FBI and to the government. Hi, Tara. It sucks too because I've been on for a minute and I'm stressed. I'm getting tired out of watching my internet just buffer and buffer and buffer. So I was getting ready to be towards the end of my shift tonight, but I'll talk for a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm not going to read that whole thing, John. That's way too much for my little throat tonight. But I understand what you're saying, and that's beautiful. I said there was a plan. That's all you had to say? There was a plan, Kate. You was right. Trump had a plan. Trump always has a plan. Have you not read his books? I tell people all the time. Okay, so this isn't working anymore. Now I can't close the stream or go back to my face. Maybe. I just want to go back to my face. Not the video. Boy, guys. I've got one yellow bar left before I'm on the red. So be ready. I'm loving you all. And then send me the Kanika stuff in my email too, because yeah, see, now I'm just buffering or spinning. It's me hitting my mouse. It's doing nothing for me. What happened? Oh, there I go. Yeah, I got like one. Okay. It won't let me click on anything. I was trying, because I have this thing I wanted to show you guys about this fight club in New York. Like, shit's getting crazy about some. Here it is. Hang on. Maybe it'll let me do this way. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Trump is always 10 steps ahead. People don't listen to us. Okay, so. Oh, that's not it. Where is it? I just had it. It is the fight. Where is it? There it is. I know this isn't completely about the election. Yes, it is. It is a very important. And I would read through the whole thing if I thought everybody would. But my voice is killing me. But the point is he had a plan all along, like we all knew. And I used to check those things when Obama was in office, because Obama be dirty. He used that executive order shit to hide stuff. So I used to check that shit all the time, because Obama was just making up laws as he was going. You know what I mean? He was not the man I thought he was going to be. Check this out, y'all. This is New York for you. This is how bad times are getting in New York, okay? And it's about to get worse because they're, damn it, buffering again. Locking the schools down again, the city. Come on. They're telling my wife's the cook. They're telling her to prepare to be locked down again. The restaurants to be closed again. Come on. Okay. Fight Club. New York City, over 200 people broken up by authorities. Attendees of Rumble in the Bronx were discovered drinking, smoking, and fighting, according to officials, and were not social distancing, they said. Oh, that just made me laugh. You corny-ass lefties. A 200-person unlicensed fight club in New York City was disbanded by sheriffs Saturday night, according to local reports. Attendees of this were discovered. Yeah, I just read that part. Look at they got one gun off them, guys. One big gun. One of several arms seized by York City Sheriff. Around 11:15, they entered a Coster Street warehouse and found a crowd watching and participating in the fighting. patrons were observed drinking, smoking hookah, and not wearing face coverings. When would that ever be like, and failing to social distance? Like in your whole life, did you ever think that that sentence would ever be something that you would be so angry? Come on now, like really, not trying to trigger my aggression with that damn not wearing face masks. My grandma's not at the club. My grandma didn't go out to Fight Club this weekend. They're all adults who obviously have no reason to be concerned about protecting anyone right in their vicinity. They themselves feel that they're healthy enough and sanitary enough or whatever. 203 plus people. Violation of emergency orders, illegal combat, no liquor license, warehousing liquor, loaded firearms, 10 organizers charged with multiple crimes. I was trying to see the picture, but it takes me to another page, so it's all right. A significant amount of marijuana was also discovered. Oh, they're facing 8 charges. Oh, here it is. Okay, here it is, guys. They blew up the picture down here. Here's the back corner, I guess, is where the fighting was started. Roman retained a lawyer, and okay. I just thought it was funny. Look what the world's coming to, yo. Look what the world's coming to. You know what I mean? God damn. People be fine. They got their own fight club going on. It's just sad. Don't get me wrong. Like, it just got to the point where, yeah, I saw that sex ring thing in Tallahassee. That's our Trump. Still working hard. Okay, this is, before we go, I need to show you this one. Because this is Dominion stuff that you're going to be hearing about, and I want you to be able to have the facts. Come on. Every time I click on something, it does this now. This is crazy, guys. I'm going to have to start like going live when everybody in my house is in bed. That was it. That was the Sydney Powell one I was looking for. It's going to close it, isn't it? Damn it. Yep. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. Just hang out there for 2 seconds. History. Close. There it is. There it is. Now I'll go back here. Boom. Here. America in 1 week. Sydney Powell. Here we go. You're 40 minutes from where are you? Smoking? Yes, I am, girl. You know I am. Okay, this was on, and this is what we'll start with, this Dominion thing, and then I'll hop over to what I got 3 things, and then I'm going to wrap it up for the night if they all load before like Christmas. Come on. This is very important. This is Sydney's newest interview. It says 3 days ago, but I got it yesterday. See how fucking slow this is? Oh, it's not going to let me come over here. No, it won't let me. Hold on. Shit. I got to go back to this page now. Give me a second, guys. This is fucked up. If this wasn't so slow tonight, I could do this, but I can't click. Nothing's working. There. Okay. So now I'm back here. Let me do this. Hold on. Oh, now I don't have a... Okay. Now I'm seeing where's my mouse. See, every time I have something that buffers. You can't see it, but I can. Yeah, I'm trying to smoke, girl. I need to smoke 2 at once to get rid of this stress. Okay, we done. Thank you. Can I please share my screen? Stop sharing that. We got to go to the next page. It won't share it there. Thank you. Let's do the spinny thing. I'm down. Tally, huh? Damn. Come on, you motherfucker. Good thing it's been 2 hours because I'm not going to feel bad when I say, guys, I love you, but I need to go do some bongs. This is driving me nuts. Medically legal bongs, just so you're aware. Come on. It won't let me share nothing now, guys. It's just buffering and buffering and buffering. Right, or she should put her own mask on if she's afraid of dying. That's her responsibility. Oh my God, it's going to share. Christmas. Why didn't it do it? Yo, all that for nothing, guys. I don't understand why I can't just show it from this page. It won't let me, like, it keeps going to another page. Give me a second. StreamYards, John. Remember? StreamYards. This is John, guys. I love John. StreamYards, John. I've just wasted like 45 minutes of my time tonight trying to play my fucking videos. I'm so mad. I already played that at the beginning of the video, sweetheart. I played Rudy's thing. I can't share anything at this point. I can't. I'm going to try one more time to share the newest Sydney one. Rudy, what Rudy talked about basically is what I talked about tonight, and that's foreign, the Dominion and being from Venezuela, and Smartmatic being from Frankfurt, Germany. That's where they raided the servers at Seidel. I played all that. Yep. This one, no. Let's try this again. I can't even press share audio now, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm on the red now. On my makeup stand thing. Yeah, I designed it. It's got like a pull-out stool and stuff. I love it. It's my favorite. My TV stand goes there, but my wife's got it out in the other room right now. Let me try this one more time, guys. All right, give me 1 second. Oh shit, hang on.
Joining me now is best-selling author of the book License to Lie, former federal prosecutor and General Michael Flynn's attorney, Sydney Powell. Thank you for joining us. Counsel, tell us a little bit about the challenges that the Trump administration is facing, and what are your thoughts on whether or not they will be able to flip any states?
They're facing an election that was absolutely rigged. We are soaking in information through fire hoses of complicated mathematical alterations to the votes. We have identified the system capability that does it. It does, in fact, exist, regardless of what the name of it is. It works through the Dominion company's voting machines that were in 30 states and does indeed alter and flip voting results.
So can you tell me right there? I understand that. So there are these Dominion machines or voting machines, and as you point out, there are multiple counties across the country that may have changed. How do you know this? Where's the? Listen, I'm not pushing back on you because I know everyone's going crazy right now, but is there proof of that?
Yes, well, the Dominion machines are in 30 states. We're identifying the companies that created the software. They have done this in other countries around the world. It's incredibly disturbing, and we will hopefully have evidence of it before the end of the week that we can produce publicly. And the Justice Department and the FBI and the intelligence agencies, I think, have known about this before. So why nothing's been done about it yet is beyond my comprehension, but it's fixing to go public because I'm not going to stand by and watch the American public be defrauded of their chosen leader in a free country that's supposed to be free, not run by Venezuela or China.
Sydney, very important information news you're breaking here. Is it a software glitch?
No.
Or something
it was meant to work like this.
It's a feature of the system that was designed with.
She's saying a feature of the system designed to work like this. The software was meant to have a backdoor. Listen.
A back door so that people could watch in real time and calculate with an algorithm how many votes they needed to change to make the result they wanted to create.
How did you find out about this?
People have come to me with information. I think when people realize there's somebody they can trust that will actually do something about it, they speak up. We have a lot of patriots in this country. They are absolutely fed up to the gills with corruption at every level of government. They have no trust in our public institutions now, and we will not let this election be stolen or any cheating to survive.
So let me get this straight. It's a real important point here. Dominion voting machines were in numerous states, numerous counties. There's some sort of software backdoor that not unlike most phones will have a backdoor. But this will actually calculate and tell the person accessing the backdoor what type of voting percentages and what type of numbers are needed to change the win for a certain party, for a certain candidate.
Precisely.
Exactly. They can watch the voting in real time. They run a computer algorithm on it as needed to either flip votes, take votes out, or alter the votes to make a candidate win.
No, that's different. Now this is even different. I just really want to be very careful here and be very meticulous about this. It's one thing to be able to watch it and decide how much more input you need to change the number. But now you're saying there's an actual way to change the total, the vote tallies within the system.
That's exactly right.
Hammer and scorecard.
Very big claim. I mean, that would be.
You guys have to understand. You have to understand. They used a multitude of things here. They just threw every weapon they had in the pile at once because they knew they could not even come close to touching him especially with Joe Biden. It's not like they tried to run an Obama against Trump. They had to use everything. They had to use hammer, scorecard, CIA hacking or CIA tools that were meant to literally either fraction out votes, flip votes. Their software that was designed in order to get into the election software and manipulate it. Okay. And then on top of it, then they had to get the election software people involved. Smart man citation to produce a product that could be most unnoticed so that the election would go, look like the same, 70 million people that showed up at Trump rallies, showed up to vote, but somehow or Joe Biden eked a win. That's what it had to look like, that he eked a win out. Oh yeah, he got the popular vote, but they fucked up because we came out for Trump. We came out 70 million strong. So they had to do what? They had to make up all these votes last minute. They had to close counting down in 3 major swing states and tell everybody to go home. And then they spent all night getting truckloads of ballots and counting them. And And funny how those ballots were all like, that was the big dumps of ballots, the hundreds of thousands, where one had like 138,000 and 0 were for Trump. One was 194,000 and only 6,000 were for Trump. Like, and there was no down ballot voting at all on any of Biden's of those midnight ones that were brought in. They were all just straight Joe Biden tickets. This thing was done because every weapon, including dirty election boards in dirty Democrat-ran cities, played along. Everybody was part of this. Every single company, software owned, whatever you name it. Everything that's why I put that on my thumbnail tonight. Democracy Suite, Cytel, Dominion, Smartmatic. Those are I put the Pentagon, the CIA, the FBI on my thumbnail tonight. I put Juan Guaido. Why? Because Juan Guaido is basically a president that was handpicked. Okay, and even though the people of Venezuela voted overwhelmingly for Maduro, the United States tried to get involved and handpick a man and just throw him down their throats. And guess what? The Venezuelan people have rejected him. It doesn't matter that 60 countries claim that he's their legitimate president. There was no vote for him. He lost the election. Yet somehow or another, the United States right now sees him as president. That's where we first started fucking up. When we allowed that Venezuelan election, we got involved. We not only did we get involved, but we literally played along with the lie instead of calling it out. So what do you think is going to happen now? Do you think they're going to call out our lies for us? Nah, they're good. Everybody's going, just all these foreign countries vote saying, hey, congratulations, Biden, congratulations. But that's the same fucking thing. Because that's what we did when it was our turn to fucking, to stand up and say, hey, wait a minute, something's not right. No, Pompeo fucked that up and looked the other way. I'll call it out.
Define, right there. What's the next step?
It's massive criminal voter fraud writ large across at least 29 states. It could have been happening. Anytime a voting machine was connected to the internet, and we have evidence that many were.
Oh, I just showed you that tonight. Kind of good, huh? What happened when that guy was connected to the internet? Oh, that's right. He had total control of all voting data. He could put in whatever he wanted or take out whatever he wanted.
It was obviously happening. It's obvious from the algorithm and the statistics that our experts are tracking out for batches of votes and when the curves changed. And it's going to blow the mind of everyone in this country when we get it all together and can explain it with the affidavits and the experts that have come forward.
All right, Sydney, we're going to leave it there, and we're going to look into it. We're going to watch for further information coming out from your camp, I guess Rudy Giuliani's camp as well, Trump camp. So, Sydney Powell, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, really quick. Nice. Well, that worked out. Sorry, I'm standing up. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better, John. Oh, shit, fuck. Shit, fuck. All right, here we go. Now we're where I want to be. Come on, baby, don't let me down now. Of course not. Why would you make it easy on me? Oh, shit. All right, here it is. Yep, I knew it. I was going to do it again. Hold on. Come on, buddy. Sorry. Every time I stop one thing and go to try and play another, I got to go through this. Now it wants to go back to it. Come on, baby. YouTube, what is up with you tonight? All right, there we go. Oh, itch my hand. I better be getting money the way this hand itches. I wanted to play. Okay, so down towards the bottom are the newest ones. There we go. That was a good one. That was funny. It's quick. Hold on. Oops.
How awesome is that video? I love that. That's one of my favorite videos of 2020. Just watching an angry feminist chick read and screaming, "Hey, you trust support, read, you're racist, read." And then she hits the card in front of her. She's not paying attention.
Salty Cracker is my hero, just so everyone knows.
She's so
him and Mrs. Salty Cracker.
Entranced with her own venomous rage towards all of these white supremacist Trump support. She ain't paying attention to the car in front of her, and boom. And I like how once she realizes that she hits the card first, she goes, yeah. But I'm sure it's not going to be your fault, right? Like every good lefty feminist tard out there.
Everybody else's fault. Oh my god! Because I got a vagina, I only earned 10 cents on every dollar compared to one of those Trump supporters that went so bad. It's their fault that I crashed out of the person's car. Well, this isn't even the video that we're talking about. I just wanted to show this video to lay a little bit of foundation. Because we had another one. Same exact situation. Because, of course, this is a perfect metaphor for the liberalism mental disorder. This is the encapsulation of TDS.
Why is it
These individuals who are so upset at everybody else, everybody who doesn't agree with them politically, and all this perceived racism and oppression, we got to take it out on them and not paying attention, and then wrecking their own toys, wrecking their own cars. Now, these idiots will do this to our civilization if we let them. With their faux outrage, they'll destroy America, much like they're destroying their own cars. Take a look at this video. It's fantastic.
Here it is. Boom! He's like, fuck you, man.
All that hate. It's unfortunate that it happened, but man, that is.
All right, hold on, guys. I got something else for you too, because we just kind of hopped around. I know I should have stuck with the Dominion thing for a second, but since I got to go in a minute, wifey's got to get some sleep. Yeah. I showed it. I played it. I was like, I didn't get the email, John, but I told you, if you go back to the beginning of the stream, I played Rudy for a few minutes. I didn't play the whole thing, but I played it. And him explaining the foreign part of it, and that's why I told everybody, look, Rudy just brought up Frankfurt, Germany, and that's where Smartmatic was located, counting our votes. And that just happens to be where our military raided Site's house servers. So I think Louis Gohmert was right about that. Sydney Powell, this is Carrie, I don't know who that, but anyway, Georgia voting machines were connected to the internet, and the Georgia governor received financial kickbacks for the state's contract with Dominion Voting. Meaning, look at this, guys. This is crazy. Look at Georgia is 100% Dominion. The only state 100% Dominion. Exact quote. We also, at least I've been told, there are special concerns about the governor of Georgia and Secretary of State having some kind of personal benefit for rushing the purchase of Dominion machines to this state. Georgia, you're in trouble. Yeah. Brian Kemp, I don't know. He's a Republican, isn't he? I don't know. I think he beat or else. All I know is that what's her face claims to be the governor of Georgia. Went to jail. I'm just skipping around here, see what else it says down through here. Don't forget about this. What's this? Memory sticks used to program Philly's voting machines were stolen. We might want to look at this, you guys. Hold on. Well, let me go to it, or I gotta back out and come. Yeah, I gotta come back and get you guys. Hold on. Come back and get you. Check this out. Memory sticks were used to program Philly's voting machine. Used to program their voting machines were stolen from the warehouse, you guys. Wait a minute, yo, Dawn, didn't you just say that way up there? Yeah, sorry, I always just say like the one part of y'all's names. I probably should read your whole names. But didn't you just say that back there, Dawn? Didn't you just say, oh yeah, how are they going to be? That's the warehouse ain't secure. The cameras can be taken. Look, the warehouse, Dawn. Look, they took it from the warehouse. Laptop and several memory sticks used to program Philly's voting machines were stolen from the warehouse in East Falls, setting off a scramble to investigate that the ensures that the machines have not been compromised. My ass. I guarantee you them memory sticks and that laptop were given to the person that was dealing with doing the backdooring. It says it appears to be a random crime unrelated to the campaign. Why would it be a random crime? Why would someone steal election programming memory sticks? In a laptop that's completely, as soon as they open it up, it's going to be attached to the government and be able to be tracked. They're just making this, saying that. Do you think they would put random crime in any other title of their news? No, they don't. They want you to know, not to think it has anything to do with a party being involved. Though it remains clear when it was stolen, said the item has vanished sometime this week. The laptop belonged to an on-site employee for the company that supplies the machines, and the USB drives were the only items believed to have been taken. You mean maybe because they needed two of the drives? I don't know, to put a dirty software on. Do you think? Because was it Philly like one of the? Now, mind you, guys, this is in September. This article is in September 30th, 2 months before the election. A month and a week. Are you kidding me that they, in that time, you can't imagine what could have been done. Because now when Philly gets caught, because right now we have all them lawsuits in Pennsylvania. When Philly gets caught, mark my words, they're gonna go back and fall back on this theft. They're gonna fall back on it, and nobody's gonna be charged and nobody's gonna be blamed. They will fall back on this theft. And say, oh, they must have swapped out memory sticks while they were here. But where's your camera footage? It says that they ensured that all 3,750 of the express vote touch machine voting machines they were beginning programming them to be used. So the flash drives are inserted in the top of the machine. Some of them used to record electronic votes for but it's unclear whether those stolen served that function or not. Bullshit. They know. Come on now. They act like we're so stupid. A lawyer for the campaign sent a letter. Says still Trump said, and in the debate, oh yes, Trump probably brought it up about the city corruption and encouraged supporters to monitor in-person voting. A lawyer for the campaign sent a letter to commissioners threatening legal action if they're not allowed to observe the elections. And guess what happened? They shut him out. Remember? This was all planned. Trump knew it. He gave him a chance. He did it the legal way. He fought all the legal fights first because he knew that would be their backup, is going run into the courts. He already went to him. Sorry, honey. Y'all saw that Biden implied that Harris has been giving him, since she's on the Intelligence Committee, basically he slipped up and said she is serving him intelligence information. Sorry, that's a way close up, isn't it? One more and I'm done for the night, guys. I love you all, but boom. Last one. Oh, Dominion. That's needed. Hi, honey. Almost done. Oh, you're fine. Hi, Harley. You're fine. This is my handsome boy. You come in. You come in to get warm, my handsome boy. Tell mommy bring me some food. I'll be done in a minute, buddy. Mommy will feed you. Give me a minute. Yes, mommy be done in a minute, buddy, and then I get you your food. Come here. Sorry, chat. You gotta wait. Mr. Harley comes first, huh? There you go, handsome boy. Yeah, okay. Anyway, only man in my life. All the rest are bitches. Report. Anti-Trump Dominion voting system security chief was participating in Antifa calls posted on this Antifa manifesto letter to Trump and posted. Yeah. Anyway, it's called Dead Prez # Cop Shot. Please. Something, I don't know. In 2010, Eric Coomer joined Dominion as VP of U.S. Engineering. According to his bio, Coomer graduated from Berkeley with a PhD in nuclear physics. He was later promoted to voting systems officer of strategy and security, although he's since been removed from Dominion page of directors. You can see, here he is right there, Eric Coomer. His just face is no longer there. In a stunning interview by Michelle Malkin, United founder reveals how he infiltrated Antifa, and during a conversation with Antifa members, he discovered Eric from Dominion was allegedly part of a chat during the week of September. It's my holy cow, September 27th, 2020. Come on. Close. Thank you. See, there's a whole series there. Why is that doing that? He may have a PhD in nuclear physics, but when it comes to hiding his hatred for Trump and Trump supporters, law enforcement, or even Texans, Dominion's Eric Coomer isn't very smart. In 2017, when Coomer was in Nevada, he mocked President Trump's Election Integrity Commission on Facebook. The voting commission is a fraud itself. Shut it down. The article, written by unhinged Trump hater Jennifer Rubin, that's Hillary Clinton's left hand, Uma Abedin. And then it says there was an executive order on May 11th to establish a presidential advisory commission on election integrity. What about Trump's commission triggered Coomer? It was part of vulnerabilities in voting systems and practices used for federal elections that could lead to improper voter registration and improper voting, including fraudulent voter registrations and fraudulent voting that caused Coomer to have a childish meltdown. Dominion's director of strategy and security says response to Rubin's article seemed to be a bit unhinged. And in other news, there seems to be some fuckery going on right here, fueled by our Cheeto-in-chief stocking lie on the flames of former Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach, who actually is very smart about all this. You want something serious to worry about? This is it. And then it says the voting commission is a fraud itself. Shut it down. Whatever, Coomer. This screenshot captured by Joel. Why does it keep doing this? Hopping around on me. Sorry, guys. It's like I lose control of it every time. As soon as it starts buffering, I'm done. Here we go. Holy, that's small. I can't read all that. Even if I blew that up, it'd be hard to read. But basically, it's just him talking shit on Facebook. If you're planning, it's a lot. If you're planning to vote for an autocratic, narcissistic, fascist, asshat blowhard and his Christian jihadist VP pick, unfriend me now. No, I'm not joking. I'm all for reasoned political discourse and healthy debate, but I'm looking at you, 3 names of friends. I disagree with you 3 on many philosophical grounds, but respect your opinions. Only an absolute fucking idiot could ever vote for the windbag, fucktard, fascist, racist, fuck, no bullshit. I don't give a damn if you're a friend, family, or a random acquaintance. Pull the lever, mark an oval, touch the screen for that carnival barker, unfriend me now. I have no desire whatsoever to interact with you. You're beyond hope, beyond reason, controlled by fear, reaction, and bullshit. This sounds like a Democrat, doesn't it? And if that doesn't persuade you, fuck you. Seriously. This fucking clown stands nothing. Or stands against everything that makes are you kidding me? Oh, I can't even read anymore. He makes me want to throw up. According to Altman, Eric Coomer isn't a big fan of police. During his interview with Melkin, he shared several screenshots of anti-police rhetoric, like an image from YouTube from the hip-hop song Dead Prez. Oh, wow. Is there a heaven for us hip-hop heathens? Big Pop and Pac, even Easy had him leaning. We all children looking for a reason. What do you believe in? Betrayal or treason? I'm out for dead presidents. Oh, wow. I'm out for dead fucking presidents that represent me. They're talking about money, honey, not that. Anyway, a lot of people some people just don't know like urban slang, and they're not talking about, and that dead presidents, and they're talking about money. I hate to say it, they're wrong in that one. Getting really stuffed up, guys. All right, a lot of people might be glad to know that Texas rejected using Dominion. They did, because their state read this whole garbage. 30 states in America, including every critical swing state in November, used Dominion. Oh, I know who's coming to my table. Oh, you know it. You know it. All right, boys and girls, that'll be about it for tonight. I love you guys. I'll be back. Hopefully tomorrow won't be nearly as bad.